It's not a pretty picture you just painted, but those are the facts. And I think it's important, obviously, for Colorado to get off to a good start. Bill McCartney emphasized that during the course of the week. They don't want to land on the carpet. They've gone 2 games without any turnovers. Imperative that they get off to a proficient start and continue to play good football throughout.
Oklahoma won the toss and elected to kick off. So obviously their strategy, get their defense on the field first, hope that they can stop Colorado and get good field position. Brad Riddell, number 84, will kick off. Pritchard and M.J. Nelson are deep for Colorado. Colorado looking to improve on that number 3 ranking. Looking to bury a lot of ghosts as we're underway. Pritchard some 5 yards deep. Touches it down, and Colorado will start on their 20.
Tell you, early on, the wind might be a factor here. Swirling wind. Not sure as we walked in the field before the game as how it will affect the throwing, but it might be a factor. You take a look at some of the injured for the University of Oklahoma. Mike Gaddis on crutches, talking to Kenyon Rashid, the fullback, who also is out for the remainder of the year. This is a banged-up Oklahoma team, but still with a great deal of pride.
It is cool and windy as we start playing Norman, as Hagan keeps it, gets a couple before he stood up by the free safety, Terry Ray. A pickup of 3. It'll be 2nd and 7, and you can see Oklahoma emotionally up right away. Offensively for Colorado, the brilliant Darian Hagan at quarterback. J.J. Flanagan in for the injured Eric Bieniemy. He is dressed but probably won't play. Kissick the fullback, Pritchard the wingback, Parrick the tight end. Up front, Coleman, Garten, Leuenberg, Muhlenberg, and Vanderpool. From the 23 on 2nd and 7. The handoff to Flanagan. Out to the 25, and that is it. Reggie Barnes, number 40, the weak side linebacker, makes the tackle, but a fumble. And we'll have to unstack it and wait.
I believe he's going to call the ball dead. Any doubt that Oklahoma would come out and be mentally into this football game? Certainly those thoughts have been dispelled early.
Dixon, Dillard, Dante Williams, the nose guard, along with Scott Evans up front. Thompson, Belzer, Ray, and Franks. Blevins and Barnes are the linebackers. 3rd and 5 for Colorado. The Buffs have had great success in the first quarter this year. Hagan looking to throw. Darian with a hole, but not enough, as he's brought down at the 29 by Stacy Dillard. Sophomore left tackle in for the injured Tom Backus. Backus and Corey Mayfield, 2 veterans on this defense, are out today.
Well, you can see the play action pass. I'm not sure Darian Hagan gave this pattern enough time to unfold. Not bad protection, tried to cut it up and just about a yard short of the first down.
Tom Ruin on for the Buffs, one of the best punters in the nation, averaging just a shade under 46 yards a punt. Oh, this kick bounces inside the 20, inside the 10, and it'll be down the 11-yard line. Another excellent punt by Tom Ruin.
Well, that's a great kick into a stiff breeze.
And he hasn't had a chance to kick very much the last few weeks. Tink Collins is the quarterback. They had a 3-man battle for that spot. Of course, Charles Thompson now in prison. Ike Lewis is the tailback for the injured Mike Gaddis. Manning, Sawatsky, Wise, Medice, and Van Kiersbilk up front for Oklahoma. On 1st and 10, Ike Lewis up the middle, a big hole across the 20, out to the 22. That should be enough for a first down. Terry Johnson made the tackle.
Well, Oklahoma's a team that has struggled the last couple of weeks, but they still believe they can run the football. You can see an excellent job up front, getting hats on people in white jerseys. Very big up front. Ike Lewis, Proposition 48 case last year, now forced into action with the loss of the great one, Mike Gaddis.
Lewis now in motion. Leon Perry, the big fullback, is the lone running back. Perry's got it, breaks a tackle, runs hard out to the 30 where Terry Johnson hit him first. But it's another big game for Oklahoma, a pickup of 8. It'll be 2nd and 2. Perry 88 carries for 419 yards, averaging just a shade under 5 a game. Defensively for the Buffs, same defense that has started the entire season. Walker, Steed, Salavia, they are flanked by the H-boys. Alfred Williams and Canavis McGee. Johnson and Jones are inside. The deep secondary, McLuhan and Gibbs with Young and James. Here's the pitch to Lewis. He is thrown for a loss back at the 25, and there's a flag down as Arthur Walker made the tackle, but Alfred Williams really made the play. He sprung it out, Dave, and wouldn't let Lewis get outside.
There's a good job of forcing, as you mentioned, Ron, the run back inside. Terrific job by Alfred Williams, forcing Ike Lewis back inside. The penalty is going to go against Colorado, but great pursuit inside by Canavis McGee.
Now, you made a good point. We've talked a lot about this, and we'll wait and get the call here. It's a first down for Oklahoma. Colorado comes in, never before on a streak like this, as a player, and you know what it's like down there. How intimidating is it for a player on the floor of Owen Field?
Well, it's a very tough place to play, but I don't think it'll be any more intimidating than what this team has been used to over the course of the last couple of years. The point is really believing you can win, and that's something that comes with success over and over again. That's why Oklahoma, even banged up, firmly believes they can win this football game. Gary Gibbs said this week, hey, we are hurt, but we will not concede anything to a great Colorado team. They have never beaten us, and there's no reason they should beat us today.
Of course, Gibbs in his first year replacing Barry Switzer. 1st and 10 for the Sooners. They're on their own 35. Their first drive of the game. Collins cuts it up, and he's thrown for a loss by Joel Steed, the nose guard, the sophomore out of Hinckley.
Anytime you play an option team, very, very important to gain penetration quickly. Watch how fast Steed gets off the block. He shows in the face of the quarterback, and Arthur Walker right there, too, turning Tink Collins back into Joel Steed. Got to make sure you don't allow Tink Collins to run down the line of scrimmage and then have the ability to make the decision before he sees that white jersey early.
It's a loss of 1, 2nd and 11. Collins wants to throw, steps up, throwing deep, incomplete. Off the hands of Arthur Guess.
I'll tell you this, he was very, very close to being over the line of scrimmage. I'm not sure we'll be able to see it from this angle. Right at the line of scrimmage, and a good throw as Arthur Guess, who has caught 3 passes this year, all for touchdowns. You get a pretty good reason as to why one of the fastest members of the Sooner team, and that was close to a big, big play.
Oklahoma's going to pull out all the stops from all the people we've talked to. They don't throw the ball very well. Collins is 15 for 37 on the season, but today I think they feel they have to throw. They can't afford to fall behind the Buffs. From the 34 on 3rd and 11, Collins keeps it, makes a nice move. He's got a first down. He's into Colorado territory at the Buff 47 before Michael Jones ran him out. A first down for Oklahoma.
But Tink Collins making the correct decision on the break. You see him right here as Walker unable to get upfield. Good job blocking from the outside, too. When you can pick up first downs in an option attack from 3rd and 11, you're really going to be a pretty good offense. That's something Oklahoma has not been able to do a lot of during the course of the last few years.
You see Collins' stats through the air. That's on the season. Perry's got the football. He's not going very far, just a couple. Down to the 45. Arthur Walker made the stop.
Geez, Oklahoma grinds out a few first downs, a big penalty against Colorado early. A couple of things that it does. It enables Oklahoma to keep possession of the football and thus drive down the field, but it also keeps the CU offense off the field. That was something that Gary Gibbs pointed to during the course of the week. Important for my offense to maintain control of the football.
Yes, the wide receiver brought the ball in, brought the play in. This is Lewis. Michael Jones wraps him up at about the 44. So it'll be 3rd and about 7. Of course, we talked about that. The series all in Oklahoma's favor last year. First night game ever played in Boulder, and it was a terrific game. Went down to the wire, 17-14 Oklahoma. On 3rd and 7. Collins. It's incomplete, and Oklahoma will have to punt. Ted Long, as the ball was deflected, Ted Long was open, but he and Collins were not on the same page. Bruce Young got a hand on it.
And again, you get most option teams in 3rd and long, you're going to be successful. See, the ball was tipped as Long broke in on the quick slant.
Riddell, you see his numbers on the season. Jeff Campbell is back at his own 10. Going for the corner, and he doesn't make it. It's into the end zone. 9:24 to go in the first quarter. Each team has had it, and each team has punted it away. Colorado has it. 1st and 10 from their own 20 as they stop Oklahoma after the Sooners had accumulated 3 first downs. Hemingway now in the game at fullback with Pritchard and Flanagan. Hagan keeps it, and he's hit and thrown for a loss. Scott Evans, fine junior tackle out of Edmond, Oklahoma, made the play.
Well, Barry Switzer last year said Scott Evans, as a sophomore, was the best defensive lineman in the Big 8. Good penetration. You can see these Oklahoma linebackers get inside. Blevins spins Hagan back right into the arms of Scott Evans.
Hagan, CU's leading rusher, 4 games this year already of over 100 yards, but so far in the first 4 plays, the going has been tough. 2nd and 11. Hagan, fine catch by Hemingway across the 30 to the 33. That should be a first down for Colorado. Reggie Barnes made the tackle. One-handed grab by George Hemingway.
That's a pretty good snag by a fullback. You can see Hagan goes back. He wants Hemingway. Watch this. The right hand, boink, just pulls it in, and George Hemingway lined up, actually flexed outside a little bit, and then just released to the outside, sat right down in the seam, and waited for the football.
Hemingway, one of those players getting better by the week for Colorado. Hagan keeps it to the 36. Frank Blevins, strong side linebacker, second leading tackler on the team, made the stop.
You know, Oklahoma defensively, after playing last week in Ames, Iowa, had taken a lot of grief, especially here in Norman, but still they are giving up only 15 points per game. This is a defense that gives up a little over 100 yards rushing per game, and certainly very capable of shutting down most teams that rely, for the most part, on a running game, and that's what CU does. The Buffaloes are going to have to throw the football and connect in order to loosen this defense up before the game's over.
2nd and 7 for the Buffs. Hagan on the option, nowhere to go, and down he goes. Wayne Dixon along with Stacy Dillard and Frank Blevins all strung it out. Didn't give Darian any room. It'll be 3rd and about 7.
And again, the key to the option, watch how many red jerseys appear in the backfield before Hagan can actually decide as to whether to cut it up or to pitch it. Frank Blevins, again, doing an excellent job from the inside linebacking position of getting penetration and forcing Hagan to stop inside.
Colorado looking for their first down of the afternoon. Hagan with time. And it's incomplete as he was looking for Parrott, and the Buffs will have to punt.
This is really pretty good protection as they run the lead fake, and Hagan looking downfield. You can see Oklahoma, good depth by the linebackers, and Hagan takes a shot right after he delivers the football. Bill McCartney said they are going to stop us sometimes. Oklahoma is too good defensively for us to drive the length of the football field all day long. How we adjust and how we take that mentally will be a large factor as to how the game is ended.
Ruin kicks this one down to the 25, where Greg DeQuazy takes it and is knocked out. So Oklahoma When we return, we'll start from their own 25. Big hole for Perry as he's out across the 30 to the 31. Bruce Young. And a flag is down at the 32. Young made the tackle.
I think this one will be coming back, as Leon Perry really has been a guy that one of the few backs they've been able to keep relatively healthy at 99 yards last week against Iowa State. Big, strong fullback in the mold of a wishbone fullback, 230 pounds, and he'll keep you honest inside.
Illegal motion on the Sooners. Colorado will take it. That'll push him back just inside the 20. 6:53 to go in the first quarter. Colorado's had it twice. Oklahoma with their second possession.
You're seeing the Sooners this year more in the I formation, largely in part to the inexperience at quarterback. Now, they come out basically in the bone this time, but in the I formation, you can take a lot of pressure off your quarterback in terms of him making the right decision.
Flags everywhere as Oklahoma did not get it off. Colorado has scored, Dave, 87 points in the first quarter this season.
I think you're seeing now, Ron, just a lot of jitters, a lot of nerves, kind of like a heavyweight bout, as both contenders, they feel each other out, they do this and that. You've got guys jumping off sides, and I think a break, a fumble, an interception, a mistake by one of the two teams probably will get their opponent going. And it might take that to get going against two pretty stout defensive units.
Gary Gibbs is 35 years old. There's Bill McCartney. 1st and 20. Collins looking to throw. Here comes the rush. And down goes Collins at the 17. Joel Steed put Collins to the turf. 2nd and about 18 for Oklahoma.
Certainly a different MO for Oklahoma early. Not in the bone a lot, not able to execute the option and simply roll up big chunks of yards. They've attempted, I mean, at least gone back to throw 3 or 4 times, and we're midway through the first quarter.
It's a good point. You used to never see Oklahoma in anything but the bone, and now they're in the eye, and things have changed here in Norman. Handoff up the middle. That's when the Perry, he's out across the 25. Canavis McGee made the stop. Brings up 3rd and about 10. You can see what Colorado has done. They have really not had, Dave, a close game yet. On the other hand, Oklahoma, a couple of stunners, 6-3 at Arizona. They lose in Texas and then escape at Ames last week, 43-40.
I believe the right guard for the Sooners may have jumped. Once you get down, I think Larry Medice might have rocked back and forth a bit. The referee is going to wave it off and say no flag.
Inadvertent flag.
I wonder how that can be. Well, I didn't mean to throw that.
John Laurie of Springfield, Missouri, the referee.
See, 3rd and 10. Defensively, when you play a team like Oklahoma or Colorado for that part, this is where you want to keep them for the most part. They may pick it up. They've already converted 1 3rd and long. But percentage-wise, you win most of the battles when they're in 3rd and long.
Getz and Long are the wideouts on 3rd and 10. Collins looking, now being chased, and now being nailed back at the 24-yard line. And Oklahoma will have to punt. Alfred Williams again was the man that made the play.
When you force a team to throw that doesn't throw many times, now Oklahoma has thrown 13 times. That's the most in any one game. Team Collins is not a prototype drop back passer. When you make them do that, you force them into things they're very, very uncomfortable with. And again, CU defensively, if they can continue that, will be very successful here today.
Chad Brown was also in on that play. Number 34 is Riddell punting to Campbell. Jeff going back all the way to his 20. Hitting down across the 30. Joel Brewer, the tailback, who does a good job on special teams, made the tackle. 4:49 to go in this first quarter from Norman. Colorado and Oklahoma are 4:49 to go in this first quarter. Colorado has it 1st and 10 from their 32. Kissick back in the game at fullback. Hagan gives it to Kissick. Eric across the 35 to the 36 where Frank Blevins, strong side backer, made the stop. Pick up a 4, 2nd and 6.
And again, just as we said, Oklahoma keeps the CU defense honest with Leon Perry. So will the Buffaloes with Aaron Kissick and George Hemingway. Have to pound that fullback inside, make those 2 inside linebackers stand in there, and force them to read the fullback first before they flow and run to the option game.
It's the best field position Colorado has had. Here's Pritchard. He won't make it to the 40. Scott Evans hit him first and then got help. Colorado is working into what has now become a pretty stiff wind here in Norman, and it's in Colorado's face here in this first quarter.
Well, Mike Pritchard hasn't had many opportunities. This is a play that against your normal defenses really results in a big play. Pritchard a nice job of stepping back against the grain, but Oklahoma very, very quick in pursuit, and a good job by Scott Evans.
3rd and about 3 for Colorado. Kissick. Depends where they spot it. First quarter, Nebraska and Iowa State tied at 7. First quarter, Kansas leads Kansas State 7-0. Fourth quarter, West Virginia leads Boston College 34-30.
I think we're going to be a little bit short here. Colorado looks about 1.5 feet. Actually make that about 1 foot. Interesting, trying to get 3 yards with your fullback, and you can see Kissick meets Blevins head on. Tries for the first down, and Bill McCartney looks like he has intentions of going for this first down.
Hemingway trots on the field. It looks like Colorado will go for it on 4th and about 1 foot. So the first gamble of the afternoon. Crowd is up. 3 minutes to go in the quarter. 4th and less than a yard. Hemingway.
Well, Oklahoma thinks they've stopped them. It certainly depends on where the spot will be, but they didn't get them a lot of yards if they got the first down at all with Hemingway.
I don't think they got enough.
This is a case where penetration gets to the handoff point almost before Darian Hagan can hand the ball. You see Dante Williams from the nose doing a good job of sliding to the left side, and he was right there to greet George Hemingway.
The crowd tells you the story. Oklahoma takes over inside the Colorado 42. First big play of the game. .258 to go in the first quarter. If you just joined us, we're scoreless. Best field position of the day for Oklahoma. Tink Collins at quarterback. The handoff is to Perry. He gets to the 40. Tenavis McGee, along with Michael Jones, made the stop.
Interesting decision on 4th down by Bill McCartney to go for the first down on 4th and short. I think most coaches will tell you, coaches that have good rushing attacks, if we can't get a couple of feet on any given down, then we don't deserve to win the football game. And he will be second-guessed, especially with the field position should Oklahoma score. But I think you have to figure you can at least get a couple of feet anytime you want to.
Of course, Oklahoma has beaten Colorado 12 straight. Colorado has not won in Norman since 1965. Perry inside the 40 to about the 38. Steed along with Walker. Now Michael Jones having a word or two with Perry.
Just a little friendly visit.
Sure. And what's a Colorado-Oklahoma game without a few friendly visits? Of course, I want to commend my partner Dave Logan. He is working under the weather today. He's been sick the last couple days, but short of a hospital stay, Logs would not have missed a CU-Oklahoma game.
Can't miss this one.
They've got to get to about the 32. Here's Lewis. It's going to be thrown for a loss. Arthur Walker hit him first and made the play.
Now that's why if you're a coach, you can gamble sometimes on 4th and short in your own territory if you have a lot of faith in your defense. And the defense just made a big stand. When you give the ball up that deep, sometimes the defense will break a little bit. Certainly they did not on that series.
Arthur Walker and Steed in this first quarter are making a lot of big plays. It's been a defensive struggle so far, in case you missed this first quarter. Riddell towards the end zone and in the end zone. So Colorado to start their 4th possession of the afternoon on the 20. They've had it there 3 times, once on the 32. They have yet to get a first down.
Well, CU is going to have to start thinking about throwing the football a bit on first down. Now, they've been able to generate a few yards. They've been very close to breaking a couple of plays, but Oklahoma, obviously, over the years has been one of the better defensive units in the country. No surprise playing option football. And they love this. They'd much rather play a team like Colorado than a team like Iowa State that moves people all over and dumps the football and throws 45 times a game.
A couple of other scores to pass along. Maryland leads North Carolina 31-0 fourth quarter. Virginia out in front of Louisville 13-9 at the half, and Michigan leads Indiana 31-3 third quarter. And there is Eric Bieniemy with the baseball cap. You know he's frustrated, wants to play, but his leg is not quite ready yet to let him get back in there. And on top of that, his mother said no way.
We always do what our mothers tell us to do, too.
Absolutely.
He's a guy, though, that just his presence means so very much to this team. He really epitomizes the heart and soul of this year's edition of the Buffaloes, and I know Bill was never even thinking about leaving Eric Bieniemy back in Boulder.
Good view of this 76,000, a sea of red here in Norman. And we are high atop that sea of red, and I mean high atop. On 1st and 10, J.J. Flanagan running hard across the 25 to the 27, where Scott Evans again makes the tackle, but a 7-yard pickup for J.J.
But you line up in the I formation, give it to the guy 4 or 5 yards back. Flanagan making a nice cut inside, and J.J. stronger this year, able to drag some tacklers with him after the first hit. So important, again, on first down that you gain at least 4 or 5 yards so you're operable 2nd and 3rd down.
2nd down, a long 3 for the Buffs. Kissick and Flanagan behind Hagan. Flanagan again. A little short of a first down. He's out to the 29. Dillard and Reggie Barnes. Dillard 77, Barnes 40. On the bottom of that pile. Flanagan taps Dillard in the head as if to say good job. Dillard playing for the injured Tom Backus. 270-pound sophomore. And we have come to the end of the first quarter. After a quarter in Norman, Colorado nothing, Oklahoma nothing.
Side number 98, Dante Williams, right over the center, had such great penetration early that he got there almost before George Hemingway could secure the football. And that, of course, at least then looked to be a big play in the game. Oklahoma took over inside the CU 40-yard line, but the CU defensively to the occasion, and they stopped Oklahoma.
CU still looking for their first down of the ball game. As you see, well, CU has 1 first down on their last drive. Rushing yards, Oklahoma 43-28. Oklahoma has not completed a pass yet. Total yards are even. Third and 1. Kissick, Hemingway, and Flanagan behind Hagan. Here's Flanagan. JJ's got the first down out to the 31. So Colorado with their 2nd first down. The free safety, number 19, Terry Ray, made the stop.
Good job of smash mouth football, as they say. Flanagan just getting behind a lot of white jerseys, lowering those shoulders, and realizing that he needed only about a foot for the first down.
First and 10 from the 31. Here's Flanagan up the middle. dancing across the 40 to the 41, close to a first down. Stacey Dillard, number 77, tripped him up.
Well, they've had good success with the I formation with Flanagan, the deep back, cuts it back early. Now he's like a water bug. Look how low he is to the ground right there, picking up an additional 4 or 5 yards. So important for CU to establish their ability to move the football on the ground early in this game. They've had problems with Oklahoma in the 7 years of Bill McCartney's tenure here, and so far so good.
Big hole for Eric Kissick. He's into Oklahoma territory all the way to the OU 30.
Now, this was a play, and this is a series that Bill McCartney put in with his staff, the offensive staff, the last couple of weeks. They have not run this particular scheme too many times, as Darian Hagan will step back a couple of steps away from center. Kissick sneaks in behind. It almost looks like an option play, and the defense is totally fooled unless they're geared to stop the fullback right away. And that time, obviously, they weren't.
27 yards for Kissick and a first down. Flanagan, not much room, and he's thrown for a loss. Frank Blevins, number 35, hit him first. They'll give J.J. forward progress to about the 31.
Not much of a push up front. You can see a stalemate as Kissick and Blevins meet right in the hole. Nowhere to run for J.J. Flanagan.
Second down and 11. Blevins stuck on that nice number, 9 tackles in each of his last 4 ball games.
Well, they say he doesn't have great speed, but he certainly has been right where he needs to be this afternoon so far.
Hagan looks to throw with time. A bullet that is incomplete. M.J. Nelson was the intended receiver. Greg DeQuazy on the coverage. And it brings up a 3rd and 11.
You know, Darian Hagan's been so good so far this year, but I think sometimes people fail to remember he is still only a sophomore. And at times, no matter how good he is, he's going to play like a sophomore. What you hope is that he doesn't play like a sophomore in big, big games such as this one today.
Hagan puts the football on the ground. It's loose. Oklahoma's got it. Sooner football at the Oklahoma 32.
Well, this looked like a design quarterback draw. Now, I'm not sure what happens, but Hagan puts the ball down below his knees as he tries to scramble, and you can see Blevins, I believe Blevins got the strip of the football, and Oklahoma with a big, big turnover defensively.
Belzer, number 29, the strong safety, made the recovery. Blevins on the strip, so Oklahoma's got it at their own 32.
That's the first turnover in the last 3 games for the University of Colorado. Came at an inopportune time.
Collins, the handoff to Perry. Out to about the 37, a pickup of 5. Michael Jones on the tackle. 2nd and 5.
Well, Oklahoma again up front getting a pretty good surge offensively. Leon Perry just cracking in there trying to gain some yards. They've been hurt defensively, but offensively 4 of the 5 returning starters back for the offensive line of the Sooners.
Here's Lewis, not much room, and Arthur Walker with some help from Oakland Salavea rides him down. It'll be 3rd and a couple. That was Colorado's first turnover in 3 games, Dave. And that's, a lot of people feel that might be the only way that Oklahoma can beat Colorado if Colorado turns the football over.
Oklahoma, a little I formation of their own. Ike Lewis doing a nice job of keeping his feet moving. Actually gains about 2 or 3 yards after the initial hit.
Third and a couple. The pitch to Lewis. He's got a first down before Chad Brown runs him out at the Oklahoma 43. He got just enough.
With a power toss into power I, and Lewis does a nice job here of getting over his fallen blocker and just getting enough yards for that first down. Ike Lewis, a much heralded running back when he came out of high school. One of the top 5 backs in the state of Texas. As I mentioned, not as big as Mike Gaddis, but certainly very, very quick, and he just needs a chance to play.
From the 43, Tink Collins hands it off to Lewis. Big hole, and he slides down at midfield. 6-yard pickup, 2nd down and 4. 11.5 minutes and counting to go in this first half. We are scoreless.
You can see again why Oklahoma is running so much I formation. You just turn around and hand it to that running back, and it takes all the pressure off your quarterback. They've had quarterback problems here this year. They haven't had a quarterback rush for 100 yards this year in any one game. That's the first time since 1983. So if you've got great running backs and you're a little shaky quarterback, go ahead and just hand it off to him.
Big hole for Leon Perry. He's got a first down into Colorado territory at the Buff 43. So Oklahoma impressive on this drive on the ground.
Well, this play is 1 tackle, as you can see, from going all the way as Chad Brown gets Leon Perry by the leg. You can watch up front at the push the Oklahoma offensive linemen are getting right now. And they're controlling the initial line of scrimmage, doing a good job.
1st and 10 at the Colorado 43. The handoff to Lewis. Walker catches him from behind and drags him down at the 46 for a loss of 3. Arthur Walker extremely active in this first half.
It looked like Tink Collins had trouble with the snap and almost may have dropped. Let's see if we can see it. Collins, yeah, he almost lost the football. Actually bumped off the guard as Larry Medice was trying to pull and get in front of the ball carrier. And a good job by Arthur Walker.
2nd down and 13 for Oklahoma. Collins throws incomplete. He was looking for Ted Long, the H-back. McLuhan was right there with Long, and Long may be shaken up. Sophomore from Waco, Texas.
But Ted Long came here as a quarterback, moved to defensive back last year, and now he's back to receiver.
10 minutes to go in the half. We'll return to Norman in just a minute.
This is what Carl Howard wears when he works at IBM. And this is what he wears as a volunteer fireman for the West Douglas County Fire District. IBM has supported his work at the firehouse with a grant for a personal computer. It's one of more than 450 grants we've given over the past 3 years to support the work of IBM volunteers in Colorado. Carl Howard, just one of the IBM people working in Colorado who are working for Colorado.
Only one company could do it, and we did it. Big Sur Waterbeds has dramatically lowered prices on its entire line of waterbed bedding. You'll find the guaranteed lowest price on every sheet and every comforter at Big Sur. Not just the lowest price on a few irregulars that nobody wants, but the lowest price on our huge selection. Everything from muslin to designer percale. Big Sur Waterbeds. The best price, the best selection. And now the best is even better. Big Sur Waterbeds. West Colfax, East Colfax, and 58th in the Valley on Furniture Row.
I always thought I'd know when the right person came along.
Let's party.
Put it off the field as you look at the panoramic view of Owen Field here in Norman. Good day for football. A little windy. And as you look at the flags on the top of the stadium, you can see that the wind is brisk. And on the field, I'm sure it may have, Dave, somewhat of an effect, maybe on the passing game.
Yeah, I think it might very well be tough to throw as the game progresses. They've seen some pretty good players here in this stadium.
Well, that they have.
Pretty good teams as well. You know, Barry Switzer made an interesting comment during the course of the week. He said, you know, my 71 team, the team that battled Nebraska for the national championship before finishing second, they'd have been beaten by 30 points by some of the teams I had in the mid and late 70s.
Sure.
I wonder how Jack Milburn feels about that.
3rd and 13. Collins looking for all of it down the sidelines, but it's way out of bounds. He was looking for Arthur Guess, and Guess was well covered. So on 4th and 13, Oklahoma will have to punt.
Boy, it is tough to change what you've been doing when you've been doing what you're doing for the last 30 years and doing it quite well, thank you. Running the football, and then they want to be able to throw it when it's 3rd and long, and the guys that can run the option attack usually have a tough time dropping straight back and throwing the football. That's why CU so fortunate to have a Darian Hagan.
That kick off the side of the foot of Riddell and bounces down to the 37. So a 9-yard punt by Riddell. Kind of sound like a country music title. It's tough to do what you've been doing when you've been doing what you've been
That's
doing.
a lot of doings.
We'll come back and figure out that doing in Norman in just a minute. Flanagan across the 40 out to the 42 where a fine open field tackle by Terry Ray, the free safety.
A pretty good execution of the option. The free safety is the most important man in an option attack when you're defensing a guy on the pitch. Now here comes Terry Ray. If he doesn't make that tackle, J.J. Flanagan is down the sideline for some big yards. You've got to have two safeties, and Oklahoma and Colorado certainly do, who are capable of making tackles one-on-one when you face that option attack football.
2nd down and 5 for the Buffs. Hemingway, a big hole up the middle into Oklahoma territory, down to the Sooner 44-yard line. A 16-yard pickup for Hemingway and a 1st down.
See, Ron, this is the same play that they got Aaron Kissick into the secondary. Watch him take 2 steps back. Here comes the fullback. Now, he is through the initial line of scrimmage almost before Oklahoma can adjust. They get used to playing the option. The linebackers start to flow. You wait for Hagan to have the ball. All of a sudden, the fullback is by you. Very, very tough play to defend.
Colorado on the move at the Oklahoma 44. 8:55 to go in this first half. Hagan keeps it inside the 40 down to the 37 for the 3rd straight play. Ray, the free safety, made the tackle, but a 7-yard pickup by Darian.
And a good, quick decision by Hagan. These are plays that earlier in the year, Darian Hagan scores on. He zips through the line. Here comes Ray again. At free safety, he's going to have to make a lot of tackles in this contest today. But Darian Hagan with a nice cut, a quick cut. He sharply gets right over left tackle for a gain of 7.
2nd down and 3. Hemingway pushing the pile. And he's got a 1st down at the Oklahoma 33.
See, offensive linemen love this style of football. You just line up there. You know what the snap count is. You rock back. Where's the guy in front of me in a red helmet? Wham. Come off. Knock him. Try to knock him down. Then get up. Knock somebody else down. You've got a fullback in George Hemingway. It's 230 pounds. He'll knock somebody down. Push the pile. You got bodies all over each other. They love it.
You're getting pumped up.
They love it.
You're frothing at the mouth.
I'm just glad I'm not an offensive lineman.
1st and 10 for the Buffs at the 33. Hagan, the pitch to Flanagan. Flanagan with room on the sideline, and he's tripped up again by Terry Ray at the Oklahoma 26. Ray has made 4 straight tackles. 7-yard pickup for JJ. Is Colorado getting good yardage on every 1st down?
Well, this is what Colorado couldn't do in previous years, and that's pitch the ball successfully. Now, Flanagan, once he's just got to run right here. No time to do that. He's got to run as fast as he can for that angle and force Ray to meet him at the pass. Good job by Hagan, pitching the ball. Nice catch by Flanagan.
2nd and 3 for Colorado. It's their deepest penetration of the day. Here's Flanagan, stacked up right at the 25 by the middle of that Oklahoma line. So it'll be 3rd and short. We're under 7 minutes to go in this first half. We are scoreless.
It's obvious right now that Colorado's game plan coming in, and yes, they'd like to mix it with a few passes, but the Buffaloes believe they can run the ball against Oklahoma. Not all the time, and maybe not even consistently, but they believe they can move the ball on the ground, and obviously that's what they're best at.
It's 3rd and 1. Colorado has to get to the 23, so it's about 1.5 yards. Hagan keeps it. And he should have a 1st down at the 22. It is a 1st down for Colorado. Wayne Dixon, the left end, ran him out.
But the last 2 times, 3rd and 4th and short, it's been the fullback. Nice fake to Flanagan. Now Hagan making that read. You can see the corner slide out for the pitch man. Knows right where the 1st down marker is. Now here's a case where CU really has struggled in the last few years. Since 1985, CU has scored 20 points total against Oklahoma. Last time they were in Norman, 2 years ago, twice inside the 10, they come away with nothing. Imperative that they take advantage of scoring opportunities and frankly with touchdowns against a team like OU.
From the 22 on 1st and 10. Hagan cuts it up. Gets only 2 as he's down to the 20 by Joe Bowden. Bowden, the backup, strong side linebacker. Pickup of 2. 2nd and 8.
You can see the action again. Nice move by Bowden, who's not had a chance to play very much this year, substituting for James Good. Does a great job of swinging around and making sure he gets hold of Hagan and getting to the ground.
Nebraska leads Iowa State 14-7 second quarter. Oklahoma State leads Missouri 7-3 second quarter. This one is stopped before it is started. Hagan looked like he might have been calling an audible there, Dave. And it's very noisy up here. Delay a game on the Buffs. These 76,000 are into it, and it may be tough to hear down there. That'll make it 2nd and 13. Back at the 25.
Colorado does use a lot of audibles, and it looked like, Ron, you're exactly right. 80% of the time when they come to the line of scrimmage, Darian Hagan has 1 of 3 plays in mind. He will check off, and obviously that time just took a bit too long.
And down to this closed end of the stadium, which CU on their way to it, it is tough to hear. Hagan looking to throw. Incomplete, in and out of the hands of Hemingway. Bowden, number 45, was with Hemingway. Sets up a 3rd and 13. The field goal kickers may play a role today. R.D. Lasher for Oklahoma and Ken Culbertson for Colorado.
This is the same play that Hemingway made the one-handed catch in the first quarter. It's got to be a little bit wider. See, in that defense, you force that inside linebacker to cover the swing man. So make him run, stretch him as far as you can. Hemingway a little bit too close to the middle that time.
You can see the time in the lower right-hand corner. No score. Hand off to Flanagan. JJ with room inside the 15 down to the 13. He's going to be about a yard short. And Bill McCartney will be presented with another decision as Eric Bieniemy looks on.
See Eric Bieniemy telling J.J. Flanagan, cover up the football. It's 4th and 1 again. I'm not so sure that I don't kick it here, but Bill McCartney evidently is going to call timeout and think about it.
5:16 to go. Come on back. Find out what Colorado will do on 4th down. In Norman, Oklahoma, Colorado with a 4th and 1, and they will attempt the field goal. Ken Culbertson is on. They'll spot it at the 20. It'll be a 30-yard attempt. Campbell will hold. And it is good. Culbertson snuck it in the lower left-hand corner, and Colorado is on the board first.
Well, Bill McCartney called a timeout, and I think contemplating going for it on 4th down. There is a lot of wind here, and you can see the kick by Culbertson barely made it through the left upright, so nothing is going to be a gimme, even from 30 yards away this afternoon. I think a good decision there to get some points on the board. Your defense has played terrific football. They've been able to keep Oklahoma out of the end zone, and you don't want to come away in a situation like that where you've driven the ball some 50 yards and then get no points on the board right before halftime.
Culbertson now 7 of 10 on the season. He gives his team the first points of the day. Colorado, an impressive drive, 50 yards, 11 plays, taking nearly 5 minutes. Culbertson, a low line drive kick.
I tell you, when he hit it, I thought he missed it.
You know what? I did too. So I was afraid to call because I thought that he did hit it left. Dewell Brewer, number 6, and Otis Taylor, number 11, deep for the Sooners. You can see how windy it is. Culbertson has had the ball already blow off the tee. They'll now hold it.
Yep. Wind really can play havoc with you, especially in the passing game and the kicking game, obviously. Of course, these two teams run the ball so effectively that it doesn't hurt them too much. It hurts Colorado, obviously, more than Oklahoma. And it'll hurt the team that gets behind in the second half and must throw the ball to catch up.
Culbertson got all of that one, drives it right out of the end zone. That field goal might have been good right there. So Oklahoma will take over on their 20. With 5:13 to go in this first quarter, Colorado out in front, 3-0.
Now, if you're the Sooners, you'd love to move the football down and have a chance to score, but of paramount importance, you do not want to make a mistake this deep in your own end with 5 minutes to go in the first half. Your defense has played great, and the Sooner defense has really answered the challenge. Offensively, you want to make sure that you don't give Colorado great field position right before halftime.
From the 20 on 1st and 10. Collins runs down the sideline and is nailed at the 19 by Alfred Williams. What a shot he gave to Tink Collins.
Well, Tink Collins will take one right in the chops. I'll tell you this, if he pitches the football, he's got a chance for a big play. Oakland Salavea did a terrific job of penetrating from his tackle position, knocked off Leon Perry, therefore Tink Collins had nowhere to pitch it. So give Williams the credit for the big hit, but give Salavea the credit for knocking off that pitch man.
Loss of 1, 2nd and 11 for Oklahoma. Collins wants to throw. And it's incomplete. He was looking for Adrian Cooper, the tight end out of Denver South High School. Dave, you made the point. When you don't throw, it's tough to all of a sudden decide you'd like to throw.
I mean, it's nice to practice, and certainly when you run 7-on-7 in drills and nobody's tackling you, it's easy to complete some throws. But for a team that has relied so heavily on the option attack, to drop back and throw it in that fashion is virtually impossible.
It's a big play here. It's 3rd and 11. Oklahoma into the wind. If they don't get that first down, CU should get great field position.
Reverse.
Here's a reverse to Long. Hitting down at the 24. Bruce Young hit him first. Got some help from McGee, but he'll be at least 6 yards short of a first down.
Kanavis McGee saved not only a first down, but maybe a touchdown on this reverse. Kanavis McGee and one other Buff player, the only guys in white jerseys on that half of the field. McGee holds his position, and he forces Guest to turn inside where he's got more help.
McGee and Young made the play as Riddell punting for the 5th time. Campbell is deep. He stands at his own 40. Jeff is out to the 48. And that's where Colorado will start. Arthur Guest made the stop.
You know, Ron, little things make up a football game. And Jeff Campbell running as fast as he could to catch that punt prevents the ball from bouncing. It may very well have bounced all the way to the 20-yard line. So he saves his team 27 yards. Now, it doesn't look like much because he catches the ball and gets wiped out in about 2 yards, but just the fact that he catches the football, which is the vital point for any punt return man.
3:50 to go in this first half. It has been a defensive struggle. The only points, a 30-yard field goal by Ken Culbertson. Of course, Colorado home next week against you-know-who, Nebraska.
And this game today may very well be the biggest in school's history. Should CU win this game, next week will be bigger than this week. Gary Barnett, the quarterback coach, along with the 2 backup quarterbacks, Charles Johnson and Mark Walters.
Bill McCartney over, having a word. Colorado has time, 3:50. They've got 2 timeouts left. Great field position, their own 47. Hagan's got it, keeps it. Hagan with plenty of room down the sidelines, and he's finally caught from behind at the 14-yard line by Jason Belser. Biggest play of the ball game and a first down for Colorado.
Two key points. Watch the block by the fullback on this play. I hope we can see it as Eric Kissick right there cuts down the defensive end. Now Hagan doing a good job with the ball in front of freezing the cornerback. See the pitch move. when you still have the option man. Let's see if we can see J.J. Flanagan. Watch Flanagan stay right with Hagan. See that little move right there? Very subtle, but it forces Kevin Thompson, the defensive corner, to play the pitch man.
39-yard run as Flanagan takes it inside the 5 down to the 4. That'll be close to another first down. DeQuasie, number 49, the strong safety, made the stop on J.J. Colorado in the last 5 minutes of the first half, starting to make their move as they'll measure here. 39 yards for J.J. Flanagan.
Hopefully we can take another look at the option play with Darian Hagan. Once you herd a team to the outside, obviously having a tendency to flow that way much quicker, and Flanagan has really been terrific lined up in the I formation running between the tackles this afternoon.
The big play or the big series might have been after the field goal when Colorado held Oklahoma 3 and out at the 20, got the ball back with great field position.
And Kanavis McGee stopping almost single-handedly that reverse, forcing Guest to cut up inside where there was help.
2nd and goal. The ball is at the 4. Here's Kissick. He's got a first down. Colorado's got it 1st and goal at the Oklahoma 2.
I think Colorado right now clearly proving that with so many options and so many weapons, you can stop them for a while. You can shut down people from time to time, but it's very, very difficult to monitor everybody. They've got too many options to choose from.
1st and goal. Hemingway down near the goal line. He's not in, but he's close. They'll mark it inside the 1. Colorado has 3 downs to blast it in. 2:12 and counting in this first half. 3-0 Colorado. Hagan's got it. The pitch. Touchdown, J.J. Flanagan.
I'll tell you what, this will be a play that the Adam's apples of every CU coach in the press box fluctuated about 16 inches. Hagan literally pitches this one from almost on the ground. That might have been over the rim on a free throw.
One of the more adventurous pitches in the young career of Darian Hagan.
He pitched that over an Oklahoma player almost falling down, and those are the kinds of plays that Oklahoma has made so many times in the past.
Culbertson makes the conversion. 1:51 to go in the first half, and Colorado suddenly has struck for 10 points, and they have established themselves here at Oklahoma.
No disrespect to any quarterback that's ever played for Colorado before, but this kid is the difference in how the option attack is run. He pitches the ball literally over Kevin Thompson's head while Thompson has a beat on him and falling flat on his face, knowing that J.J. Flanagan is going to be all by himself because Thompson is the cover guy. Thompson is the corner who came to Hagan. That is a terrific play, and few can make it in college football.
And a play that scared a lot of Colorado people that are here in Norman. 5 plays, 53 yards. The big play, the 39-yard run by Hagan, as Colorado out in front 10-0, 1:51 to go in this first half. All of a sudden, that ball came flying out of that pile. Everybody's heart.
It was like he was shooting a free throw from his knees. Got to get it up over one guy and to the rim.
He's a sophomore. He's not worried. He's never been here before. He doesn't know from anything.
Maybe too young to be worried.
Yeah. Line drive quick by Culbertson through the end zone. So the Sooners will take it on the 20.
Darian Hagan throws this left-handed, as you can see, over Kevin Thompson to a wide-open J.J. Flanagan.
The really scary thing about that is where Hagan was, you know, it's like a pass that could be picked off and run 100 yards.
But the important thing is for a quarterback to know how to execute the option and to realize if I can just get the ball out there somehow, there's nobody to cover my pitch cut.
Oklahoma now down by 10. Lewis twists and turns and fights for about 5. Michael Jones, the senior from San Diego, made the stop. Jones, the leading tackler on the Buffs. Minute 35 and counting. Colorado, a 6-point favorite. It's been 19 years since they've come in here as a favorite. Handoff to Perry, nothing there. Gary Howe, number 95 in the game, along with Arthur Walker and Chad Brown were all there. No game. 3rd and 5 and a timeout called by Colorado.
Yeah, Colorado, I think, very, very wisely going to force Oklahoma to come up with something on 3rd and 5. Otherwise, punt the football into the wind, and who knows what can happen in the last minute or so.
Well, Arthur Walker, has he had a first half or what?
He's had a great year. Senior tackle out of Houston, Texas. Much stronger this year, gained some 20 pounds, and he really has played as well as anybody up front.
His stock has risen.
Well, this is a defense that's been able to keep the Buffaloes in every game. Now, offensively, they put so many points on the board that they really haven't had to rely much on the defense. But today, defensively, the tone of the game, the tempo of this contest has been set initially by the Colorado defense.
Colorado defensively has just shut Oklahoma down in the first half. Oklahoma has not been shut out since 1982 when USC did it. Collins throws it incomplete. He was looking for long. Bounced off his right hand, and with 1:03 to go, Oklahoma's got a punt again.
And when you don't have much success throwing the ball, and you haven't had a good year throwing the ball, these passes become tougher to complete as time goes on. Tink Collins, all he has to do is just dink it out there. Throws it over the head of the receiver.
See Bill McCartney give Bruce Young a high five when he came off the field?
But he's high-fiving a lot of guys.
Yeah, he is. And high-fiving guys all year. Riddell giving his right leg a workout. Campbell from the 40. Jeff across midfield and a late flag as Campbell made it all the way to the Oklahoma 47.
Tell you, usually when it's thrown like that, it's a clip. I didn't see any white jerseys in the midst of the 3 red jerseys that were on the ground, but let's wait and see.
You called it. Clip. 55 seconds to go in the first half, and with this penalty, Colorado might be inclined to run out the clock and go into the locker room with a 10-0 lead. And Bill McCartney will tell them, fellas, we haven't won anything yet. Got another half of football to play.
It's very true.
Ball is back at the Colorado 32. So one great thing about this Colorado offense, you never know. Flanagan to the 35. Clock is running. 40 seconds.
Well, this Colorado team has to be thrilled going into the locker room with a 10-point lead. Well chronicled their problems here in Norman in the past.
Flanagan again, he's out to the 40. Number 56, James Baldwin, and 78, Scott Evans made the stop, and that should be the final play of the first half. A half that Colorado can feel very good about as Eric Bieniemy walks out with his hand raised up in the air as if to say, that's my second quarter on a field goal by Ken Culbertson. And then a drive culminated by a 1-yard touchdown run by J.J. Flanagan, which was one of the more exciting and adventurous 1-yard touchdown runs we have ever seen.
You see the kick, and that thing barely sneaks in the left side of the upright. That was the first score of the afternoon, making it CU 3, Oklahoma nothing. This play really set up the touchdown run. You'll see the option play, Eric Kissick and Mike Pritchard. Kissick with a great block on the outside. Now watch the little subtle fake right here as he freezes Kevin Thompson. Hagan off to the races, a 40-yard gain. And again, Darian Hagan really with an exceptional second quarter performance. And this run, as you mentioned, may be the most exciting 1-yard run. The pitch by Hagan on his way down and over Kevin Thompson with the left hand into the waiting arms of J.J. Flanagan, who skips into the end zone by himself.
May have been his best pass of the day. I mean, he threaded the needle on that pitch. First downs, Colorado 8-5. You can see the run. Oklahoma has not yet completed a pass. Total yards, it's CU. Everything else about equal. Flanagan has 14 carries, 65 yards. Hagan has 10 carries for 60 yards. Perry, 8 carries, 35 yards. Lewis, 8 carries, 25 yards. Dave, if Oklahoma's going to throw and get back in the game, you wonder if they'll stick with Tink Collins, who was 0 for 6.
Yeah, I think they might make a move quarterback-wise in the third quarter should CU jump ahead. This is a big, big drive, obviously, for the Sooners. Not only to punch out field position, but they're not in a situation where they have to throw the ball a lot. They're only 10 points down. 2 scores right back in the football game. I'm sure that's how they're thinking. But they have got to make something happen early here in the third quarter. They'll be going against the wind, which will be certainly tough to throw the ball.
Brewer 6 and Taylor 11 deep. And Brewer will down it in the end zone. So Oklahoma takes over from their 20 as we start the third quarter here in Norman.
Gary Gibbs, in his first year, longtime Oklahoma assistant, very good player for the Sooners as well.
They have made a change. Number 10, Steve Collins, trots on the field. The freshman from Ennis, Texas, 6'2", 196 pounds. 3 of 6 on the year for 18 yards through the air for Steve Collins. So he'll start the second half. The pitch to Lewis. Nowhere to go, and he's thrown for a loss by Kenavis McGee. So whether it's Steve or Tink, Collins having a tough time at the helm.
I'm sure Colorado aware of the fact that Oklahoma will come out here in the second half and really attempt to run the football. They're not in a desperate situation in which they have to throw the ball. Now, Steve Collins is a bit bigger than Tink Collins. He'll break more tackles. He's probably faster straight away. So I'm sure you'll see him get involved in the option attack as well.
2nd and 12. This is Lewis. Nowhere to go. Arthur Walker wraps him up. At the most, a gain of a yard. And now Walker will be flagged for unnecessary roughness. And that hurts.
Well, that's a silly, silly mistake. Good job initially getting rid of the offensive lineman, Arthur Walker, number 83. Right in the middle of your picture. Now, Ike Lewis has stood up right there. The whistle clearly blown, and Arthur Walker just flung him to the ground. See, that's the kind of thing that sometimes can get an offense going.
Personal foul on the defense. First down.
You've got him down 10-0. You certainly don't want to make a silly mistake, and you see Bill McCartney talking to an official.
I don't think Bill thrilled with that call. Maybe he felt that Lewis was going ahead, that it was a late whistle, whatever. You'll talk to Bill about that tomorrow night. 1st and 10 from the 35. Collins. Wonder if they'll call that a pass or a lateral. Whatever, they're calling it incomplete. Oakland Salavia is down, very slow getting up.
I tell you, I think this was going to be a double pass.
I think it was too.
And Steve Collins just underthrew the intended receiver, unable to make the play. I don't know if that was just a bad throw or an intended bounce pass. As long as the receiver would be behind the quarterback, you could bounce it out there and he could still throw it.
2nd down and 10. This is Lewis. Not much. Couple out to the 37. Terry Johnson made the stop. It'll be 3rd and 8.
Sooners right now really searching for something that they can get their hands on, their teeth into offensively. Are we better in the eye? Do we want to run the option? They certainly don't want to throw it too much, but they haven't been able to hang their hat on much offensively so far today, and now they're in a 3rd and long situation again.
And they're operating into what looks to be a very stiff wind. They'll have the wind at their back in the 4th quarter. Collins, incomplete. He was looking for Adrian Cooper. Terry Johnson with the hit, and Terry may be shaken up.
Again, you don't throw the ball much, and as a young quarterback, you have a tendency to lock right onto your receiver, and that's exactly what Steve Collins did. Play action fake to Lewis, and he looked right at Adrian Cooper all the way across the field, and obviously the linebackers watching Steve Collins' eyes, they're able to break on the football much quicker.
Riddell, who hasn't exactly had a shining day, he had 1 punt for 9 yards, on for his 7th punt of the afternoon. Campbell is back at the Colorado 27. This one's a good one. Campbell calls for and makes the fair catch at the Colorado 26. 13-15 to go in this 3rd quarter. Colorado 10, Oklahoma nothing.
When this phone rings, someone's in trouble.
Hello, Longmont Coalition.
Roseanne Chavez is here to help.
Strong, they haven't given up here in Norman. Their team trails by 10. The pitch by Hagan, back to Flanagan. JJ with room. Fine open field tackle by DeQuasie at the 30. Flag is down. Back at the 27. Flanagan picked up 4.
Haven't seen much of this year. Power pitch, and Flanagan off a nice break, cuts back early. The penalty is going to be against Colorado, and J.J. Flanagan got up holding his leg.
Something we've rarely seen. Darian Hagan in the game in the 3rd quarter. Doesn't happen often.
Holding. Offense. 1st down.
He's usually done for the day at this point. So a couple of mistakes here in the 3rd quarter by Colorado. The personal foul by Walker, and now the hold. And the ball is back on the 16, where it is 1st and 20. Hagan is hit and thrown for a loss back at the 13. Chris Wilson, the sophomore linebacker from Richardson, Texas. Colorado will now have a 2nd and 23 back at the 13.
Chris Wilson's been the leading tackler for the Sooners, but he's played inside linebacker. And until this week, that's the spot he's manned. They moved him to the outside when James Good got hurt. That time just avoiding the block, and really got to Hagan before Hagan could make a decision as to whether to pitch it or to duck inside.
Colorado started at the 26. They're now on their own 13. Hagan's out to the 19. It's a 6-yard pickup. It'll be 3rd and 17. Reggie Barnes, number 40, brought down Hagan.
Darian doing a good job again with the option. Kissick, a nice block inside. Hagan cuts it up, picks up positive yards. Now defensively for Oklahoma, 3rd down and 16. Boy, you can really do a lot of things. You can blitz. You can force the inside linebackers to shoot early. You want to, if you can, take the football out of the hands of Darian Hagan and force him to either pitch it or give it to somebody else.
Hagan looking for room. Makes a fine run, but he's going to be short of the 1st down. He's out to the 31. Jason Belzer, the strong safety, made the stop, but he's about 5 yards short, so Colorado will kick it away.
I don't think Darian Hagan ever intended to pitch this football at all. He was going to keep this right from the start. Cuts back, makes people miss. Tough to pick up 16 yards virtually by yourself when you cut back against the grain, but at least you give your team a chance to punt the football.
Joel Brewer is deep. Tom Ruin backs him up to the Oklahoma 12. He's out to the 17. John Bowman, number 81, one of the last men off the pile. So Oklahoma, after an exchange of punts, has the football on their own 17. They trail 10-0, 10:47 to go in this third quarter. Oklahoma has not been shut out since USC did the trick back in 1982.
Well, before this game, Colorado had not led in an Oklahoma game since 1976.
That's amazing.
They hadn't even had the lead, so this is certainly a position that Colorado not familiar with, and conversely, Oklahoma not used to being behind either.
Of course, Oklahoma has beaten Colorado 12 straight. They have beaten them 19 of 22 here in Norman. Colorado has not won in Norman since 1965.
I think the plight of Oklahoma offensively just goes to show you that, yes, it's nice to have great running backs. You need those big folks up front and knock people down. But if you're an option attack, you better have a trigger man. You better have a guy that makes the right decisions. And if you're going to be a great team, you must have a guy that can complete a throw here and there.
And they've got two freshmen, and neither of them possessed with the ability that Charles Thompson had.
Well, they're not seasoned. They haven't had a chance to play yet. And until they get the opportunity, then you're going to be limited offensively with respect to what you can do.
Perry takes it out to the 20. So it's a pickup of 4. It'll be 2nd and 6. Marcellus Elder, number 97, in the game for Colorado. Collins cuts it upfield himself, and a pretty run, makes a great cut. He's got room down the sidelines. All the way down to the Colorado 33, where McGee and James finally caught up with him. A 45-yard run by freshman Steve Collins. Biggest play of the day for Oklahoma.
But as we talked about, Steve Collins is bigger than Tink Collins. He's got the ability, because of his size, to break more tackles. You see him pull away from Chad Brown. Good block of McLuhan, and he's got very, very good straight-ahead speed. Now, David Gibbs does a terrific job of turning him back inside, and nice pursuit by Kanavis McGee and Tim James as well. But this guy, once he gets to the corner, he'll break arm tackles all day long.
From the 33, Perry on a dive inside the 30 to the 29. Pickup of 4, 2nd and 6. Here's another look at Steve Collins.
And a good job blocking up front as they knock down white jerseys. Chad Brown has to make that tackle right there.
Well, Arthur Guest made a heck of a block
to keep it from being a big play. And I think had Steve Collins continued to run, he very well might have outrun the entire CU team.
I thought for a moment there he might score. 2nd and 6. The pitch to Lewis. A hole up the middle inside the 25 to the 24. Chad Brown made the stop. It'll be 3rd and 1. Deepest penetration of the day for Oklahoma.
Well, you've given Oklahoma new life. Actually, they've helped themselves, and you see a new spirit coming off the line of scrimmage. They're bouncing back. Ike Lewis running very, very hard. You've got your offensive linemen very much involved in the game, and they realize now that with one score, they're very much in this football game.
3rd and 1. Perry hit behind the line of scrimmage by Kanavis McGee. He didn't get there. It'll be 4th down. And now Gary Gibbs will have a decision to make.
I don't think there's any decision here against the win. You have got to go for it. At least I would think.
If it's a field goal, it'll be 42 yards. And they're going to go for it. They've got to get to the 23. It's a clear 2 yards. You can see the ball right on the 25. And Oklahoma wants a timeout. They're going to think this one over. We'll take a break. 8:13 to go. Oklahoma with a 4th and 2. Colorado 25 on the left hash mark. Perry and Lewis are the running backs.
Now, if you're Gary Gibbs, with the wide side of the field to the left, you probably want to run some sort of option play to the left side, with Steve Collins having the ability to keep it or pitch it.
You called it. He's got it. I don't think he got enough. Michael Jones made the tackle, and I think that Collins is at least a yard short. Michael Jones tells you all you need to know. First down, Colorado.
That's a great job by the linebackers. The initial surge, you'll see Joel Steed inside the Oklahoma backfield. Here comes Michael Jones, and here comes Chad Brown. Both inside linebackers right where they needed to be, and Steve Collins had the hole, but he just couldn't quite get there quick enough to get the 2 yards.
Michael Jones might be one of the unsung heroes on this football team.
Was a big play.
Was it ever? Hagan, the pitch to Flanagan. JJ's run down at the 27. Nice play by Belzer, 29, and Barnes, 40, as they combine to make the stop. Give him 3. It'll be 2nd and 7.
This could have been a very big play as J.J. Flanagan stumbles a bit. He sees the opening, the lead block by Pritchard. He just can't get there fast enough. Good job of closing by Belzer and Franks.
Boy, that stop on 4th down, at least for the moment, has taken this crowd just right out of the game. Flanagan bounces off 1 tackle to the 30 and maybe a little more. Terry Ray and Frank Blevins combined to bring J.J. down. It'll be 3rd and a long 3. 7:10 left in the 3rd quarter. Colorado out in front, 10-0. Good look at Flanagan. So you talk to J.J. Flanagan, you can't help but like him. You talk about a bubbly personality. Colorado, it's 3rd and 3, wants to talk it over, and they take a timeout. Darian Hagan comes over, talks to Gary Barnett.
But you can see how the game has changed over the years. Colorado, the last few years, has had no success, or virtually none, running the football. And now they've thrown 1 pass. They completed 1 pass the entire day for 15 yards. You can take a look at the stats. 204 yards rushing for CU. Oklahoma had 147, and the biggest portion of that in the last drive. But Colorado, coming into the game, as we told you earlier, really felt they could run the football against Oklahoma. And that is a marked improvement just by the statement alone. And they've been able to, not, again, consistently, but they've been able to punch out a few first downs, come up with a couple of big plays, and we'll have an opportunity right here to add on to the big play list.
They've made just enough to keep them on top. This was the game that, just looking down here, just thinking about Sal Anessi, that he was pointing to, that he wanted to be here, and I'm sure Sal's thoughts, Sal's vision has gone through the minds of all the CU players last night and this morning and this afternoon. Third and 4. There's the pitch to Flanagan. JJ's got a first down as he steps out at the Colorado 36. Hagan did a great job on the pitch.
Well, here's an indication of how a sophomore quarterback can play like he's a senior. Oklahoma really watch him shoot the inside linebackers. Now Flanagan is going to be wide. Hagan does a terrific job of pitching the ball again left-handed, drawing the take man to him. And that's a play that I think with most quarterbacks, the defense stands a pretty good chance to win.
John Bowman, 81, did a good job of sealing on the outside to give Flanagan enough to get the first down. Here's the pitch to JJ. Nothing there, and he slides down at the 35. Loss of 1. It'll be 2nd and 11. Belzer, the strong safety, sophomore out of Kansas City, made the stop.
The power toss again. This time Oklahoma wins the battle. Does a good job of keeping their feet. See Belzer out in front. Also Stacy Dillard, the big sophomore tackle, 6'7" and 285 pounds. They don't long for size down here.
That's the truth. 6:10 to go in the third quarter. Flanagan around the corner into Oklahoma territory at the Sooner 49. Dillard made the tackle, but a 16-yard pickup, and Flanagan may be shaken up, or maybe he's just got the wind knocked out of him.
Yeah, this is a little dose of OU football against Oklahoma. The quick pitch, the lead block by Pritchard as he gets just enough of the corner to knock him off stride. Belzer can't make the play. Flanagan with the great speed can outrun most of the pursuit. Actually almost runs out of his shoes.
Yeah, he's hurting right now. They just, he's going to come out. I don't know, Dave, if he fell on the ball or whatever. He must be nearing 100 yards. He had 65 at the half. He got 16 right there.
I'll tell you one thing, he's probably not, definitely he is not used to playing this much football. The guy that usually plays about half of the offensive plays with Eric Bieniemy.
Matt Bell, the redshirt freshman from Thomas Jefferson High School, is in the ball game. 1st and 10 for Colorado. They're in Oklahoma territory at the Sooner 49. Hemingway lost the football. Oakland and Colorado got it back.
Sometimes good fortunes just ride with you, don't they? Years past, that ball would have bounced up and somebody in a red jersey would have caught it in midair, and if not run for a touchdown, they'd have been down about the 20-yard line.
When you were playing, yes, that would have happened. But this is a different team.
Now, you don't have to remind me.
A different era.
Thankfully.
A different time. 2nd down and 9. Hagan. And it's intercepted at the 12-yard line. He was looking for Mike Pritchard, but Kevin Thompson, number 22, stepped in front and made the interception.
But Darian Hagan throws this ball as he avoids the rush. Watch him step up and now get rid of it before he goes down. Kevin Thompson with excellent coverage. He was tied for the Big 8 lead last year in interceptions. He deflected 12 passes. He's a very, very heady player and right with Mike Pritchard step for step. If you're going to throw an interception, Ron, excuse me, I guess it's good to throw it all the way down the field and act like it's a punt and allow that defense to go ahead and play.
Good point. 2nd turnover of the day for Colorado. Oklahoma's got it. Less than 5 minutes to go in the third quarter. On the reverse, they're going to throw off the reverse. It's long. Throwing incomplete for Adrian Cooper. McLuhan was with Cooper. Oklahoma just having a terrible time trying to throw the football.
Well, he told you Ted Long, when he was hurt earlier in the first half, came to Oklahoma as a quarterback. Such a good athlete. They moved him to defensive back, and then they had a rash of injuries at the Z-back. They moved Ted Long back there. But you know that you're playing good defense if you see Oklahoma with reverse pass midway through the third quarter.
2nd and 10. Collins will keep it. Flag is down.
You got a holding call.
Yeah, so is Collins. Another late flag is down as Gary Howe made the stop on Collins. So there's 2 flags, one in the Oklahoma backfield and one at the spot of the tackle.
So you got a holding call initially as Steve Collins reversed his field out from underneath the center. One of the offensive linemen just collared a CU Buff.
A hold and a clip.
That's quite a Quinella. See, again, so many mistakes that if you're an Oklahoma fan, you're thinking, what are they doing offensively? And these are the things that happen to a team that is taken out of what they do best. When you force a team that runs the ball 85% of the time.
On the offense, personal foul on the offense. They will take the holding penalty. It will still be 2nd down.
When you force that kind of team to do something they're uncomfortable with, you're going to have guys make mistakes. You're going to have guys, offensive linemen, that usually fire off and knock people away from the line of scrimmage. Now they have to pass protect. Well, they're not used to that, and they're not nearly as proficient at it.
Well, and for the first time in a long time, they're playing Colorado here with the realization is sinking in that they're not the best team on the field. And they're going to have to resort, as you said, to chicanery. Ball is back at the 6-yard line. It is 2nd and 17. Dangerous area to operate for Oklahoma. As you can see by the play calls, Perry breaks some tackles, busts out to the 18-yard line where Tim James made the stop. 12-yard pickup. It'll be 3rd and about 5. Big play for Oklahoma.
Well, Leon Perry at 230 pounds is strong enough to break tackles. Watch him just keep chugging those legs, and arm tackles are not going to be good enough to get him to the ground.
Guess and Long are wide to the right. Perry and Dewell Brewer, the running backs, as Lewis is out of the game. Here's Perry. Terry Johnson wraps him up at the 21. He's a couple of yards short. Oklahoma will have to punt it away.
Now there's an indication of just wanting to get one of your best ball carriers the ball in a 3rd down situation, but unfortunately when your fullback is asked to gain 7 yards, that's asking quite a bit against a very good defense.
Riddell punting into the wind. Campbell back at his 44. CU should get great field position. The interception did not hurt him. Flag is down. They roughed Riddell, and it looks like Oklahoma will get it back. So Colorado has made a couple of mistakes here in the 3rd quarter, and this one will cost them.
Well, you'll see as number 26, Julian Hayward, tries to go for the block and absolutely falls into the legs of the kicker. But Colorado's made 3 costly mistakes.
Foul. Roughing the kicker. Defense, first down.
Ball is all the way out to the 35. So a big break for the Sooners, who trail by 10 points with 3:02 to go in the 3rd quarter.
Three of those 6 penalties coming here in the 3rd quarter, and all 3 have been costly.
Collins on 1st and 10. The pitch to Brewer. He's run out at the 41. As Bruce Young knocked him out. Got a very favorable spot.
There's a guy that Oklahoma fans will be seeing a lot of, Dewell Brewer, a true freshman, regarded as one of the fine running back prospects in the country last year. You can see he's got great speed to the outside. They just keep getting those kinds of running backs, don't they?
Brewer out a lot in Oklahoma. Perry, nothing there. Howe, Jones, McGee, all stack him up right in the middle of the line. Colorado out in front, 10-0. The pitch to Brewer. He's got a first down out to the 48. Alfred Williams made the tackle, but a big 3rd down conversion by Brewer and the Sooners. Brewer, 195 pounds, a freshman, as Dave pointed out.
Good job by Steve Collins, drawing the defense to him and then pitching. And Ted Long out in front of Brewer, doing a terrific job. Can't really see him until there as he takes Bruce Young and drives him off the line of scrimmage, allowing Brewer to get the necessary yardage.
Collins throws and completes it to Long, down to the 33. 15-yard pickup and a first down. McLuhan ran him out, the first pass completion of the day for the Sooners. And Colorado, Dave, has not come out in this 3rd quarter with a type of emotion that they played that first half.
It's a naked boot. As Steve Collins rolls out, here Long is wide open, driving McLuhan off the line of scrimmage, and a pretty easy throw and catch right there by Oklahoma.
Steve Collins has moved them more effectively than Tink Collins as Brewer inside the 30 down to the 28. Howe and Salavea combined to make the tackle. 5-yard pickup. 2nd and 5. 1:40 to go in the third quarter. Colorado 10, Oklahoma nothing. Steve Collins, the freshman, hands it off to Brewer. He's got a hole inside the 25 to the 24. It'll be a pickup of 4. Michael Jones made the stop. It'll be 3rd and 1.
You've seen Oklahoma this drive do a pretty good job up front. Then Brewer almost able to escape to big yardage.
They've got to get to the 24. It's a long one. Actually, the 23. Brewer looks to have enough. We'll see where they spot it.
Yeah, I think he's got it.
Just enough. Clock is stopped with 46 seconds to go in the third quarter. I'm sure they'll bring the sticks in.
Jerry Gibbs taking over the program that certainly in turmoil.
And you see by that much an Oklahoma first down.
I think he'll be given a lot of time down here at Oklahoma as you see Brewer lunge for the first down. Gibbs is an OU guy, played his football here as we told you. And I think most of the fans in Norman realize that right now he is not blessed with the great talent offensively at quarterback that you need to be a successful team. Plus, they've had a rash of injuries on the defensive side.
From the 23, 1st and 10. This is Brewer again. McGee's got him. They'll give him forward progress to the 21. It'll be a pickup of 2, 2nd and 8. That may have been the last play of the third quarter. It's 15 seconds and counting. And it is the last play of the quarter. 76,000 strong are up, trying to push Oklahoma back into it. Don't go away. There's a quarter left. Colorado is out in front. Plenty years of misery here in Norman. They're up by 10, but Oklahoma has the ball. And they won't go down without a fight. They are driving. They've got it 2nd and 8 on the Colorado 21.
And boy, that's what you had to expect. If you're Colorado coming in here, yes, the team that you're going to face has been hurt by injuries, but there's too much pride and certainly a lot of tradition behind this Oklahoma Sooner team, and they are not going to go away.
We can wave to everybody. We're up top of that white structure up there on top of the stadium.
We're on the roof.
We're on the roof. There's a couple of figures. We'll wave. You'll be able to see us.
I'll tell you this, if we had an umbrella, we could play Mary Poppins.
2nd down and 8 for Oklahoma. They've got it on the 21. Collins may be checking off as he barks to his wide receivers. That was a busted play as Collins is down right at the line of scrimmage.
Tell you what it was reverse pivot and a lot of white jerseys in my backfield. Steve Collins must be thinking, where did they come from? By the time I turned around, there they were. And again, the enviable position of being 3rd and long in the wishbone attack.
And we're now in the 4th quarter, so if Oklahoma is going to do it, now's the time. A big rush.
You can run it.
He's got room, but he's out short of the first down. He steps out at the 16. Williams ran him out. It's going to be 4th and about 3.
I think now you have to kick it, take the 3 points, you kick it with the wind. Leaves you 1 score down and a full quarter to play. Oklahoma fans clamoring for the Sooners to go for it, but I think a very smart call. You've got a good kicker. who's had at least one field goal in 12 straight games, and R.D. Lasher is certainly capable of making one from this distance.
Lasher, as you see, 10 of 12. You see what he's done from different yardages. They'll spot it at the 23 from 33 yards out. It is on the way, and it is good. So Oklahoma scoring for the first time today. Lasher, a 35-yard field goal. 14:21 to go. Colorado 10, Oklahoma 3. Making an appearance. Most people, Dave, remember that Schooner Best down in the Orange Bowl a few years back when it may have cost Oklahoma.
Got out in the field a little bit too soon, didn't it?
A premature entrance for the Sooner Schooner.
Now Oklahoma now back into this football game. You can see R.D. Lasher with the 33-yard effort, but it's up to the Colorado offense now to generate some first downs and to take away what momentum has switched. Oklahoma defensively will be very aggressive in this series, feeling like they're back in the game, and they are. And Colorado in the third quarter quite stagnant offensively.
You can see they really had it for a long time. 14 plays, 70 yards. Of course, they were given an opportunity by a mistake. Julian Hayward called for roughing the kicker. Oklahoma took it over and drove it down the field. Riddell will kick off. Nelson watches it go out of the end zone. Colorado will take it at the 20. And now the crowd is totally up and into it, exhorting that Oklahoma defense to get it back.
You see number 14, Melvin Carter. He ran all the way down into the end zone. And I think he's going to be called for it, as he was telling people, come on, let's get into it. Got an offsides in the kick.
And offside on the kicking team. Re-kick.
Melvin Carter was about 2 yards past the football, but it was finally kicked. He was so anxious to get to the end zone that he got a bit of a quick start.
So Colorado will make him kick it again. 14:21 to go. CU out in front, 10-3. What do you think is going through his mind?
Well, he was a linebacker when he played, and a pretty good one. He's got to be thinking, boy, defensively, now's our chance. We've got to keep them down. We've got the wind. We want to get good field position. I don't want my offense to have to drive 80 yards because we've struggled the entire day.
If he loses, they fall to 5-3, and it's been a long, long time since Oklahoma was 5-3.
It's been longer since CU was 8-0.
That's right, 1937 to be exact. This one may be returned. Pritchard from the 6. Across the 20. Across the 35. He's out to midfield before he's finally wrapped up. Great return by Mike Pritchard.
And oh, how quickly momentum can change in the game of college football.
And our man Melvin Carter made the tackle.
CU has done this all year. They've been very good at returning kicks. Pritchard does a nice job of setting up blocks. And what a big, big return at a key time of the game.
Turned out to be a pretty big offsides penalty on the kick.
Really did.
30-yard gain from midfield. Hagan cuts it up, and he's down to the 45. Wayne Dixon, number 34, made the stop, a 5-yard pickup, 2nd and 5.
I tell you, we've talked about Hagan and Flanagan and the rest of the CU backs. Let's give some credit to the offensive line. Watch how far downfield Hagan gets before you see a red jersey. You've got some people up front that are knocking folks off the ball. That's what you have to do if you're going to run against Oklahoma.
Coleman, Garton, Leuenberg, Muhlenberg, and Vanderpool. What a job they have done all season. Here's Flanagan. Fine open field tackle by Chris Wilson. Flanagan gets just a yard. It'll be 3rd and 4.
But JJ's had some success of cutting back that lead, and he cuts back maybe a little bit too early. Wilson ducks off the block and is waiting for Flanagan right when he makes his move.
Third and 4. Colorado needs to get to the 40. Hagan. He's got a first down inside the 40 to the 38. Blevins on the bottom of the pile made the stop. First down for Colorado.
Coleman left tackle, Garton left guard, Lewinberg the center. Did a nice job, and Hagan realizing how many yards he needs. Keeps the ball inside where it's safe. In past years, it was so difficult for this team to pick up 3 and 4 yards on third down against the Oklahoma defense. Oh, today they've been quite successful at it.
Hagan knew exactly where the first down marker was. Here's Flanagan bouncing inside, breaking tackles. Flanagan down to the 30. A pickup of 8, 2nd and 2. Colorado gaining yards by the chunk and working on the clock. Under 12:30 to go in the game.
Again from the I formation, which I think Flanagan is at his best in this formation. He sneaks through, he's got great vision, and he just kind of slides off tacklers. Guys have good shots at him, and yet he's able to dip to one side or the other, not give them a good view of his chest, and pick up positive yards. I think J.J. Flanagan will make a fine NFL running back. Got great speed, 190 pounds, he's strong, and certainly very, very capable.
We were in Seattle a few weeks ago after the ball game, having some dinner. He came by, told me he really liked my suit, and I said, JJ, a year from now, you'll be able to get all the suits you want. And then some.
He might buy you one.
He might buy me one.
If he does, throw one in for me.
Okay, I'll do that. 2nd and 2. Hagan looking. He's got Pritchard. First down inside the 15. A 15-yard gain as Colorado rambling down the field.
This is just the effect of the option over and over and over again. Pritchard has been knocking folks down when he comes out. Now he runs right by somebody, doesn't block him. He's wide open for the throw.
Pritchard, another guy who has been underrated all year. He's got the knack of making the big play.
And this is crucial, absolutely, for the Oklahoma defense to keep CU out of the end zone.
Hagan's got it. He'll keep it. And he's down to the 10. Blevins and Dillard were there, but it's a 5-yard gain for Hagan. 2nd and 5. Clock continues to roll. 11:35 to go in the game.
If you're Gary Gibbs, you got to start taking some chances, blitzing people inside. You'll see Frank Blevins slide down. Good move by Hagan inside, making people miss. Got to start taking some chances defensively to blow up the option attack. Try to get people into Hagan's face before he can ride that fullback.
You're right, because any type of score is a big score for Colorado. I mean that Oklahoma would have to score twice to win. Hagan, nowhere to go. Busted play, and Dillard throws him down at the 10. No gain. 3rd and 5.
Well, that's a play when Hagan looks to ride the fullback, and the fullback goes the other way. He says, where are you? Well, I'll try to do something here of my own.
You're in no man's land is where you are.
It looked like the fullback went the wrong way because everybody except the fullback was trying to run the option play to the right.
Oklahoma exhorting the crowd to make a lot of noise. Colorado's got to get just inside the 5.
Option left. No.
Kissick up the middle, and they stop at the line of scrimmage. It'll be 4th down. Culbertson comes on to the game. And the ball is on the wide hash mark, so it'll be kicking from an angle.
Oklahoma trying to grab the football. You can see Eric Kissick, Dillard really going for that ball. Unable to pry it loose from Eric Kissick.
Campbell will hold. They'll spot it at the 17. It's a 27-yard attempt. It is up, and it is good. Ken Culbertson, from 27 yards out, extends the lead. 9:49 to go in the ball game. Colorado 13, Oklahoma 3. baseball game. Oklahoma had kicked off into the end zone. Colorado thought they had the 20, but Oklahoma was offsides. And then the big return, they had it at midfield. What a difference that offsides penalty made.
No doubt about it. Safe to say this is a crucial drive for Oklahoma. 2 scores behind, one of which has to be a touchdown. Under 10 minutes to go. You're almost in 4-down territory from wherever you are.
I think you are at this point. Down by 10, 9:49 to go. They've got the wind at their back. Brewer, 3 yards deep. He'll run it out. He's across the 20 and down at the 21, and Colorado will be penalized for a face mask. It was an obvious one. I'm not sure who was the guilty party, but Brewer's face mask was ripped, and you'll see it here.
Brewer, I'm not sure, wanted to come out and then started to rock forward. Chad Brown, I think. Yeah, you can see the left hand clearly gets the face mask and flings Brewer down. That will cost CU, I imagine, 15 yards.
That'll take it out near the 35, so Oklahoma will have good field position.
Personal foul, face mask, and the return, first down.
9 plays, 41 yards on the scoring drive. Culbertson, who's been perfect on the afternoon. Oklahoma has it at their 36. They trail 13-3. The pitch to Brewer. He gets outside. He's out near midfield. A fine run by Brewer. That's a gain of 15 yards before McClellan could knock him out, and he got out of bounds and stopped the clock.
Well, Alfred Williams has had a great year, but he makes a mistake here. Watch him allow Brewer to freeze him with this move right here. Williams has him dead in the rights. And Brewer, with that great speed, just leaves Alfred and gains a first down.
Big play for Oklahoma. Took little time, got 15 yards. They're in Colorado territory. Got to admire the Sooners. They will not go down easily. Collins. Incomplete. He was looking for Guess. McClellan was on the coverage.
Steve Collins actually has Artie Guess wide open. He just takes his time and delivers the football.
.9:32 to go in the game. Each team with 2 timeouts left. Here's the reverse, and it's fumbled by Long. He still doesn't have it. Finally covers up. Back at the Oklahoma 33, a loss of 17.
I think Ted Long tried to look up and see what he was going to find before he caught the ball. I tell you, he had a lot of room to run. That thing hit him right in the chest. Couldn't get it. Now he wants to make something happen. Come here. I'll just get on it.
Yeah, just get on it.
You know, sometimes when you're so anxious and you sense a big play, you don't do the little things, like watch the football into your hands. That time Ted Long just didn't look at it, and it cost him about 55 yards.
3rd and 28. Collins steps up, fires, and it's complete to a wide open Ted Long down the sidelines, all the way down to the Colorado 22. Tim James knocks him out. A big play by Oklahoma. Long was wide open.
This is a huge play. You'll see Steve Collins doing a nice job of avoiding, stepping back in the pocket, and Long just on a crossing route. And wide open is not even the word. There wasn't anybody around him. It's Chad Brown's trying to chase him down. But had CU been able to hold him right there, this game very well could have been over.
So Oklahoma converts a 3rd and 28. They're still breathing. Collins fakes and falls down at the 25. It's a loss of a couple.
Well, Ted Long is the Z-back, the guy they call, actually like the wing-back for Mike Pritchard. You can see him fake, and they just come right across the middle of the field on a drag. And I mean, goodness, he is wide open.
He had 2 catches for 16 yards coming into the ball game. It's 2nd and 12. 8:05 and counting to go in the game. Collins incomplete, looking for Long. James was there on the coverage. Long points at James as if to say, I was interfered with.
Well, he did get bumped a little bit, but I don't think the ball could have been caught. Colorado that time deciding that we're not going to let Steve Collins sit in the pocket and have all day. They blitzed both inside linebackers. And a guy that's not used to throwing the ball, what you want to do is put a lot of pressure on him to force him to throw the ball sooner than he'd like to.
If they don't convert, they could still kick the field goal. It would bring them to within 7 and still time left.
That's why it was such a big stand defensively for OU to keep Colorado from scoring a touchdown the last drive. Here they come again.
Now they may be out of field goal range as Collins is down at the 31. Walker made the stop. Lasher is coming on, but they made it much tougher for him.
Again, watch from the left side of your screen. You'll see nothing but white. Walker is there. Bruce Young is there, the free safety. Chad Brown is there, one of the linebackers. Not going to let him stand back there and just count the house, try to find the open receiver.
His long of the year, 49. That's what this will be. From 49 yards out. It is wide to the left and no good. Not even close. 7:17 to go. Colorado has the football.
Are you tired of paying too much for a Christmas tree? Trying to cram a tree into the trunk of your compact?
7:17 away from beating Oklahoma. Hagan cuts it up inside. Nice run out to the 37. A pickup of 6. It'll be 2nd and 4. Colorado now with an eye on that clock. We're under 7 minutes. They have the ball. They lead by 10.
And with the defense playing the way they are, it's essential now you don't take any foolish chances. No need to make any throws. You wouldn't think. Be very cautious. You can run the option. And at the worst, you line up and punt it.
Here's Flanagan. Inside, JJ, maybe a yard. Frank Blevins, 35, made the stop. It'll be 3rd and about 5.
Well, Colorado can certainly, if they can hang on for the last 6.5 minutes, be very pleased with a victory here in Norman. But frankly, they've got to be thrilled because they've beaten the Sooners at their game. There weren't any long passes. There weren't really any big plays offensively other than just option football. Let's run it and see if you can stop us.
3rd down. Colorado's got to get to the 42. Hagan's with it. Not even close. He's nailed at the 38. Chris Wilson made the stop, and Colorado will have to punt. So 5:40 and counting. Oklahoma will get it back.
Oklahoma right now fighting the clock as much as Colorado. CU not taking any chances. 3rd and long. Hagan not going to pitch the ball unless somebody is absolutely wide open. And Oklahoma still needing 2 scores.
Colorado taking all their time. Clock still moving, under 5:20. Brewer lets it bounce. And it's down at the 20. So with 5 minutes and 5 seconds to go, Oklahoma takes over on their own 20. Trailing by 10. And Colorado has them where they want them because they have little time. They can't afford to drive it down methodically on the ground. They've got to strike and strike quickly.
I wonder how Bino Cook feels.
I haven't thought much about Bino Cook. Did he predict another
predicted
Colorado
a
defeat?
Oklahoma upset? Bino, a interesting guy on ESPN. He ought to come out to Boulder and enjoy what's a pretty good football team.
It's hard to predict when you don't see the team play. Bright sunshine now. 5 minutes to go.
Sooners must get something big, quick.
Well, they don't have to, as far as I'm concerned.
I tell you what, that has not been easy for this team. Really a team that's been able to dictate to their opponents with a great running attack over the years. They haven't had to throw, and they haven't been behind much.
Oklahoma's down 13-3. They've got the ball in the 20. There are 5 minutes and 5 seconds to go. They've got 2 timeouts left. All 76,000 are still here. Here's the reverse. Fumbled by Guess. He loses it. Arthur Walker is near it. And I believe Colorado's got it. Arthur Walker is on the bottom of that pile when they unstack.
You can see him signaling flat on his back.
Colorado has the football at the Oklahoma 10.
Now, I don't believe I'd ever run that play again if I'm Oklahoma, because they've had a hard time. That thing hits him right in the chest again. This is just Art Guess instead of Ted Long. Guess can't get to it. Actually does, and the ball trickles away. Here comes Arthur Walker, and how he was able to scrape that thing in with one hand, I'll never know. But Colorado with a golden opportunity to seal this victory away in Norman.
Colorado has it at the Oklahoma 9. It's 1st and goal. Hand off to Flanagan. JJ wrapped up right at the line of scrimmage by Frank Blevins. Maybe got a yard. Flanagan and Blevins now having a few words.
Yeah, frustration is set in for Oklahoma.
Well, it's been a long frustration period for Colorado, which is about to come to an end. They haven't won here since 1965. Second and goal. Kissick. He gets maybe a yard. He's stacked up. Wilson hit him along with Blevins. It's 3rd and goal. Colorado choosing to take little chance. 4 minutes to go in the game.
This is the play that a couple of times Colorado's been able to get a big gain out of. Kissick that time forced to run sideways almost, and not much yardage picked up. But the clock is the important thing. Under 4 minutes to go, keeping the ball on the ground, and as you mentioned, Ron, not taking many chances either.
3rd and goal. Kissick 33, Pritchard 9, Flanagan 2. All behind quarterback Darian Hagan. Hagan's got it. Cuts it inside. Touchdown! The streak is over. But a flag is down.
That's going to be a late flag, I believe, on CU celebrating in the end zone.
I think it is. But you know what?
Because there was no flag thrown before Darian Hagan crossed the goal line.
Celebration was well worth it.
Touchdown is good. Sportsmanlike conduct. This way.
That may be the only time Bill McCartney says this penalty's okay. Watch Hagan again. The ball fake. Freezes. To Kwasi, and over the goal line he goes.
It's going to be a fun plane ride home, I want to tell you.
It's going to be a fun week preparing.
Colorado will be assessed on the kickoff.
It's been a fun year
for the Cornhuskers of Nebraska.
Because this one with 3:26 to go is in the bank.
Bill McCartney issued T-shirts to all the kids Thursday that simply said, "Times have changed." And oh, how true.
Did you ever think, as a CU All-American, a member of the 100-year anniversary team, one of the greatest athletes ever produced by this university, did you ever think you'd be standing up here someday watching your alma mater do what they're doing to Oklahoma?
Well, you always hope. You see Eric Bieniemy and Darren Muhlenberg. Wasn't that long ago, folks. 1984, this team won one game. They beat Iowa State when the Cyclone kicker missed a chip shot right at the end of the game. And that is a happy group of Buffaloes, and deservedly so.
Look at Bieniemy.
You got to love him.
Yeah, his leg doesn't hurt too much right now.
And the national championship dream lives on.
Next step, next Saturday. So maybe the most important game in the school's history today. Now the most important game in the school's history next Saturday.
Easily so. Nebraska winning today against Iowa State. They will come in undefeated, ranked 4th in the country.
You know, depending on what happens, Miami and Notre Dame have very tough games. Who knows? We may be seeing 2 of the top 3 teams at least ranked next week in the country in Boulder. What more do you want? 2 undefeated teams playing not only for probably the Big 8 title, but conceivably the national title. This is Brewer with a hole out to the 45. But at this point, Oklahoma with 3:20 to go, down by 17. They would need more than just a minor miracle.
See a lot of white jerseys knocking guys down. Hagan again with that little ball fake. Does a nice job of freezing the contained guy. Doesn't know whether to go for Hagan or the pitch man. And Colorado, a very short scoring drive after the fumble recovery.
Tell you what a run. I mean, he was not going to be denied. DeQuasi had him from around the waist at the 5, and Hagan just said, "You're along for the ride. I'm getting to the goal line." Collins makes a couple miss, throws down the sideline, nearly picked off by Tim James. He was looking for Adrian Cooper. Crowd has really thinned out as they're on their way to that Irish pub across the street.
Collins does a nice job escaping McGee. Now, if this ball is thrown a little quicker, he's got Cooper wide open, but Tim James able to make a nice recovery, almost a terrific one-handed interception.
Collins again. A bullet, and it's incomplete. In and out of the hands of Adrian Cooper. Cooper, the junior from Denver South. Cooper said Colorado's got to come in here and prove it this week. Well, Colorado came in and proved it. This is a real milestone in this program. One big hurdle overcome by Colorado. Collins throws, and Chad Brown nearly picked that off. And it's 4th down with 2:56 to go.
Trying to make something happen. Steve Collins throws this to a well-covered receiver. Chad Brown does a pretty good job keeping the ball alive, tipping it up in the air.
Dave, the Sooners now fall to 5-3 for the first time since 1969.
Well, 5-3 won't cut it here in Norman.
No.
I think Gary Gibbs is going to be given a grace period because of the situation that he inherited. But safe to say that in the ensuing years, records as this will get you nothing but fire.
Oklahoma takes a timeout with 2:56 to go. Yeah, over 5-3 just does not wash.
And they still have Nebraska to play.
Yeah.
That game will be right here. Chip is worn out.
3 bowls are being represented here. Cotton Bowl, Florida Citrus Bowl, Sunkissed Fiesta Bowl. they may be looking at Oklahoma and not Colorado, because Colorado has their sights set elsewhere. Collins on 4th down. And they call that a completion to Guess at the 40. Wasn't sure if he had dropped it or not. They'll give it to him. 1st down for Oklahoma at the 40. Clock now moving at 2:45. Collins will just get out of bounds, and he does at the 43. A loss of 3. He just couldn't find anybody open downfield, and he had plenty of time.
This game, Ron, as you mentioned, really a statement now that the Big 8, affectionately known as the Big 2 over the years, is now the Big 3. I mean, Colorado, it's nice to beat Nebraska at home a couple of years ago, 20-10, but until you knock off the champ, and Oklahoma has been to the Orange Bowl 4 of the last 5 years, and until you do it in their backyard, you really are not recognized as the challenger.
Michael Jones got a hand on that pass and broke it up. You're right. Knocking them out in their own ring.
I mean, this clearly says that Colorado is ready to ascend to this level year in and year out. It will help recruiting. It just is a huge step for this program.
There's no longer any question nationally. You can't say Colorado hasn't played anybody. You can't say Colorado hasn't won a big one on the road. There are no other ifs about Colorado. They're here. They've arrived. Collins over the middle. He's got Guess.
No, he dropped that one.
And I'll call that one incomplete. Had it and let it go.
It hit the ground. He tried to grab it real quick, but Artie Guess did not catch this ball. Actually hits him in the pads, and see if you can see the ball trickle away. Get on the ground and watch how quickly Guess gets his hands on it. See the ball right there? I try to cover this thing up. Hopefully nobody will see.
Should have had it. 4th down. 13 to go. Ball in the 43.
See, nobody comes to Oklahoma to be a receiver. You come to be a running back, and then you have too many of them, and you put a couple out at wide receiver. But I mean, you don't. If you're a great receiver, you just don't want to come to Oklahoma. They don't throw the ball enough, and consequently, they have a tough time catching a lot of throws.
Collins is going to try to run forward. He's not going to make it. He's down at the 38, and Colorado, after the tackle by Tim James, will take over on downs with 2:18 to go, and the celebration has started down on that Colorado sideline. They are motioning to their 2 sections of fans in Owen Field here. There's one of them.
3,000 tickets sold in Boulder. Nice following down here in Norman.
They're easy to spot. In this sea of red, they've all got gold and black on them. And let's hope there's no sea of red next Saturday. Here's Campbell on the reverse. Jeff's got some room. Across the 45 out to midfield. That one's kind of surprising, Dave. What does that tell you, that call?
Well, that tells me what goes around comes around.
Yep, that's what it tells me, too. That tells me Bill McCartney's quite aware that he'd lost all the years he's been a head coach here.
Jeff Campbell has to go deeper than he'd like, and thus he's not able to get down the sideline. Pretty well set up, and Colorado had it blocked nicely.
Let's see what they come up on this play. They've got a 1st and 10 from the Oklahoma 48. Here's Flanagan up the middle. He got a couple. Joe Bowden made the stop on JJ. 2 minutes to go in the game. A game that basically ended when Darian Hagan scored on 3rd and goal from the 9. Second down. Ball at the 47. Hagan inside the 45 to the 43. Make it 3rd and about 4. That clock just continues to roll. Minute 15 to go and counting.
Darian Hagan wanted to come to Oklahoma, actually visited here, and on his trip back to the airport, Jamil Holloway told him that the coaches were going to make him a running back. And that was the end of any consideration given to coming here and attending the University of Oklahoma.
Sure, all the Oklahoma faithful want to thank Jamil for that.
And the coaching staff.
Here's the pitch to Flanagan. J.J. outside, gets by one man. Nowhere to go, and down he goes. Belser, who missed him originally, finally made the tackle. But the clock is at 37 seconds and running.
Flanagan could have dipped inside as Mike Pritchard had Belser initially. Looked like he wasn't sure as to which direction to go. Obviously wanted to stay in bounds, too.
CU's got their punt team on. Tell you, the CU fans that are in the stands are making a lot of noise. Colorado 20, Oklahoma 3. We'll take a break. We'll be back to Norman in just a minute. As most of the crowd has filed out of Owen Field, Joe Rizzo sitting down with the assistant coaches.
Offense.
Congratulations. Joe Rizzo, part of the greatest linebacker corps the Broncos have ever had. And Joe's done a good job his first year up here, and
I guess so.
He doesn't know what it's like to lose yet. He doesn't want to know either. Bruin will punt. And like everything else, it's gone CU's way as this one bounces down to the 1. And now it's into the end zone for a touchback. With 18 seconds. I think we've got Bill Marolt, the AD. I just want to get a word with him before we go. Bill, congratulations.
Thanks, Ron. I mean, this is one of the great days in the history of our program, without question.
I was going to say, Dave and I have talked about this maybe, and it's hard to say, but maybe the most important game ever in the program.
I don't think there's any question. To come in here, beat a team that hardly ever loses, puts us 8-0 next week's for all the marbles. I mean, it's ideal. You couldn't write it. It's a storybook. You couldn't write it better.
No, it's been a terrific day, and all the Colorado people that were up here just have a tremendous special feeling about this one. It's been a long time coming.
Boy, it really has been a long time coming. Dave's sitting here shaking his head. We've both been through a lot of tough days against these guys.
I'll tell you what, I'm just enjoying it.
Dave is. I think for people who don't realize, you know, you're All-American here and you play here for 4 years. It's a little emotional to come into this place against this team with so much tradition and not just beat them, but beat them the way you've done it today.
Yeah, we really did. We did a good job. We missed Eric a little bit, but we did a great job, no question.
And there's your head coach who's accepting a few congratulations.
Oh, he's done a heck of a job. He's got to feel really good. You know, you're concerned when you come in, and even though Oklahoma was, you know, has not played as well as they have, he was concerned. It's tough to win here.
I don't care how many injuries you have or what the situation is. You come in here and you beat Oklahoma, you've done something. And with the end of the game coming up, Dave and I said no longer can anybody say, well, Colorado hasn't played a big team. They haven't had a big win on the road. You're firmly established nationally as of today.
Yeah, I agree. I think that this is now we can really use this to catapult the program into the future. I mean, we've still got a great season ahead of us, but as you really project this thing out now in terms of recruiting and what we're trying to do, it's just going to be neat. It's going to be great.
Final play of the ball game, a game that has been dominated by Colorado as Collins, with the clock at 0, throws it up, and it's knocked down, and that is it. Bill, thanks very much. Congratulations.
Thanks very much, Ron. I enjoyed it.
Okay, Bill Marolt, the AD at Colorado. Gary Gibbs walks off the field, and what can you say? What can you say?
I'll tell you what, I don't think there's much to say. Defensively, they were outstanding. Colorado really did a terrific job in making the big plays at the big time, and offensively just enough, especially running the ball, to do something they had not done before. and that was control the line of scrimmage and punch out first down after first down and actually just get the ball into the end zone. They got 20 points today. The last 4 years combined, they had 20 points. And J.J. Flanagan.
There he is.
Stepping in for Eric Bieniemy. Terrific job.
And there's part of the 3,000 that made the trip.
And they're going up in the stands and thanking some of the crowd.
Some of the players are on their way into the stands here at Owen Field in Norman. On the far sidelines, they're making their way up into the stands. An emotional moment for this program and for that man. Colorado ranked third, maybe to go higher as they win in convincing fashion. Dave, I think next Saturday will truly be a special day in Colorado football history, as this one was today.
We'll see you up there.
You sure will. Final score, Colorado 20, Oklahoma 3. I'd like to thank our staff here in Norman. I'd like to thank our spotter, Becky Yan, one of the best, who did an excellent job again today. For my partner, Dave Logan, this is Ron Zappolo saying one more time, because it sounds good to Dave. Final score, Colorado 20, Oklahoma 3. See you in Boulder next Saturday.